Alright, so the handheld gaming PC space in 2025 is getting seriously exciting. Just a couple of years ago, your main options were the Steam Deck and maybe a few niche devices. But now, we've got powerhouses like the Lenovo Legion Go 2 and the MSI Claw A8 battling it out for your attention. Both promise console-level gaming in a portable package, both come with some of the latest AMD hardware, and both sit in that premium price range. But they're not identical twins. In fact, depending on what kind of gamer you are, one of these might be a much better fit than the other. So let's dive deep, compare them point by point, and figure out which one might be worth your money. Let's start with the look and feel. The Lenovo Legion Go 2 is unmistakably bold. At first glance, it feels like a supersized Nintendo Switch. Big 8.8-inch display, detachable controllers on each side, and a sturdy kickstand at the back. The detachable controllers aren't just for show either. Lenovo has included a special FPS mode where one of the controllers can slide into a little dock and essentially act like a vertical mouse. For shooters, that's a clever way to give you more precision. But there's a trade-off. The Legion Go 2 is a heavy beast. We're talking about 920 grams with controllers attached. It's portable in the sense that you can throw it in a bag, but your wrists might not thank you during long handheld sessions. Now, compare that to the MSI Claw A8. MSI plays it safer in terms of design. No detachable parts, no gimmicky modes, just a straightforward handheld with ergonomic grips and premium Hall effect joysticks and triggers. It looks more like a beefed-up gaming controller with a screen in the middle, which honestly might be exactly what some gamers want. At around 765 grams, it's still not feather light, but it's definitely more comfortable to hold for hours than Lenovo's chunky design. If ergonomics and comfort matter most to you, the MSI has the edge. If versatility and multiple playstyles excite you, Lenovo wins. Now, screens. This is one of the biggest differences between these two. The Lenovo Legion Go 2 boasts an 8.8-inch OLED panel with a resolution of 1920 by 1200, a 144Hz refresh rate, and full VRR support. And let's be honest, OLED just looks better. You get those inky blacks, vibrant colors, and higher contrast ratios that make games pop, especially when you're exploring darker worlds or watching cinematic cutscenes. Pair that with the smoother refresh rate and VRR, and you've got one of the best handheld displays in the market right now. The MSI Claw A8, on the other hand, has a solid but more conventional 8-inch IPS-level display at the same 1920 by 1200 resolution, but capped at 120 Hz. Don't get me wrong, it's still sharp, fluid, and bright enough for most gamers, but side by side with the Lenovo Go 2, you'll notice the difference in contrast and overall wow factor. Lenovo clearly takes the win here if visuals are your top priority. Alright, time to talk about what's under the hood. Both devices are powered by AMD's new Ryzen Z2 Extreme processor paired with integrated RDNA 3.5 graphics. That means we're not just talking about light indie games. These handhelds can push AAA titles at respectable frame rates. Think games like Cyberpunk 2077 or Elden Ring running at medium to high settings with smart tweaks to scaling and FSR. But raw horsepower isn't the full story. Cooling and optimization make a huge difference in how these chips perform over time. Lenovo has already been in this game with the first Legion Go, and they've upgraded the cooling system for the Go 2. MSI, meanwhile, is moving from Intel-powered handhelds to AMD with the A8, so there's a little uncertainty about how well they've optimized thermals for long sessions. Early tests will likely show they're close, but if you want the safer bet for stable, sustained performance, Lenovo might have the slight edge until MSI proves itself with firmware updates. In terms of memory and storage, Lenovo offers up to 32 gigs of RAM and 2 terabytes of SSD storage, which is fantastic for future-proofing. MSI caps RAM at 24 gigs and storage at 1 terabyte, though you still get microSD expansion. For most gamers, 24 gigs and 1 terabyte is already overkill, but if you want the absolute max, Lenovo pulls ahead here too. Now let's address the handheld elephant in the room, battery life. The Lenovo Legion Go 2 has a 74 watt-hour battery, which is already a massive improvement over the original model. That should give you longer gaming sessions without constantly running to the charger. But MSI ups the ante with the Claw A8's 80 Watt-hour battery, the biggest in this handheld category right now. Does that mean MSI automatically wins? Not necessarily. Battery life depends heavily on wattage settings, screen brightness, and how efficiently the system manages power. But with a bigger battery and a slightly smaller screen, the MSI Claw A8 should theoretically last longer. If endurance is your priority, MSI gets the nod here. When it comes to input, Lenovo and MSI both take gamers seriously. Lenovo's detachable controllers is its standout feature, giving you unique modes and playstyles. The Hall effect joystick should mean no drift over time, and the improved D-pad is a welcome fix from the original Go. Add in that kickstand, and it's a device that adapts to how you want to play. MSI doesn't offer detachable parts, but it keeps things solid. You get Hall effect joysticks and triggers, a fingerprint scanner built into the power button for quick logins, and grips designed for long sessions. It's less flashy, but more practical, and for a lot of gamers, that's all you need. Both devices run full Windows 11, which means no compromises on game libraries. Steam, Epic, Xbox Game Pass, emulators, it's all here. The difference is in the software overlay. Lenovo has Legion Space, which is more polished thanks to feedback from the first Legion Go. MSI has its own Claw Center, which is still relatively new but improving. The smoother and more intuitive your launcher feels, the better the overall experience, and right now Lenovo seems to have the advantage in this category. Let's talk about cost, because none of this comes cheap. The Lenovo Legion Go 2 starts at around $1,100 in the US, with prices going higher if you want maxed out RAM and storage. The MSI Claw A8 is priced around 975 to 999 euros in Europe, which should translate to a similar price tag elsewhere. So yeah, both are sitting in that premium bracket. Neither is a budget-friendly option like the base Steam Deck. The decision really comes down to which set of features you value more. So who's the winner here? Honestly, it depends on what kind of gamer you are. If you want the best display, detachable controllers, and more versatility, go with the Lenovo Legion Go 2. That OLED panel alone is a game changer for immersion. If you'd rather have a lighter handheld with a bigger battery and solid, no-nonsense ergonomics, the MSI Claw A8 is the smarter pick. It may not dazzle you with features, but it nails the essentials and gives you more playtime. So what matters more to you? Flashy features and a killer OLED display, or longer battery life in a more manageable form factor?